and welcome to the show. We appreciate you being on today.
I'm excited. This is so great, Will. I think this is such a wonderful show, and you guys are doing major, major changes in our country, and that's definitely what we need.
That's exactly right. We were talking a little earlier about as I look out in the landscape in the past, I don't know, 6 or 7 years or 8 years or whatever, how many black conservatives / Republicans have bubbled to the surface, and most of them in their communities. It's organic, and it's exciting because people always say, well, black people live conservatively anyway. Well, yeah, we do. Yeah, we grew up that way. Grandma wasn't playing.
I'm sure wasn't, had that stick and everything. Wanted justice to be served right there. Didn't need the government's discipline. Had homegrown discipline going on right at home.
That's exactly right. So we grew up that way, and you know what? And black people have been successful in this country, coming from nothing, coming from slavery, and attained tremendous success by looking at life conservatively and looking at hard work as being and merit and those kind of issues. And it's nice to see that there are people now willing to stand up for that. You are somebody special, by the way. As I've researched who you are and we've had conversations, you're somebody special, and you are really in the lion's den. If you ought to know, Shirley is in California. Good God.
Hey, hold on now. We got some good conservatives here. We just got to deal with all these other kind of interesting folks out here.
You're on the front line.
Oh, my God. This is like the tiger kind of thing. We got a lot of Fruit Loops out here, a lot of fruits, a lot of nuts, and a lot of loops. You just got to work through them.
That's the truth. But you're saying, you know what? It's great because if you guys didn't know, Shirley writes a column in the Washington Times, and is pushing something that I think is very important that we tried to talk about with Chairman Steele, and he kind of bought off on it, and Reince Priebus has been completely silent on this, about changing how Republicans are perceived in the urban community.
Absolutely.
And tell the listeners about Urban Game Changers, because I think that's really, really important.
Well, Urban Game Changers was created because of the fact that we saw in the urban communities the voice of the conservative, independent, libertarian, Republican was not being heard, shown, or shared. And there was always this one perspective, either the right wing or the left wing, and the fact that the inner city people had a voice. Unfortunately, we also see that there's a strong Democrat leadership in those urban communities. And those communities, for some reason, are able to manipulate the thoughts of the community and thinking it's the Republicans that have put them in that place when it's not true. This is 40 years of devastation in those communities, and we had to take a stand and make a call, and Urban Game Changers was created. Well, it goes to that brainwashing mindset that you heard Herman Cain instill, and people were outraged when he used that term. But that term is real, and it's still alive in America. We don't like to use the word racist. We don't like to use brainwashed. We don't like to use the word controlled or manipulated. Those words are definitely being implemented in the urban community. That is why Urban Game Changer was created, so that you can go there and you can see, if you go to the Washington Times community, Washington Times, and you'll see the top urban game changers. As a matter of fact, I think you're one of them, my brother.
How are we going to get the ear of people who have these finances, have these resources, to make sure people know? Because people in our communities are dying, frankly.
Absolutely. And I think the key thing that you have to get those answers is through money, numbers, and social media. I mean, we all know that the money is definitely relevant and how so many ways we can use it. But when it comes down to the numbers, we can provide that. Even if we don't have the money, we have the numbers. We have the diversity. We have the personality of different people who believe and agree the same way that me and you are talking as we speak. Social networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, through emails, through blogging, text messages, and then calling them out on issues that we don't feel that is just. Urban Game Changers is not just about the Republicans. It's about the Democrats and the Republicans. If we see things that are not fit on the Republican side, we call that out. So it is about money, but it's about numbers. And if you don't have the money, you definitely create the numbers.
With us from L.A. is someone with firsthand knowledge of this dire situation. Shirley Husar is a columnist for the Washington Times and CEO of Urban Game Changer. Shirley, I was stunned to see this piece in the LA Times today. Friends from LA were texting me. It's like texting. I said, I've already read it. It didn't really surprise me because you and I have been talking about this for so many years. The Golden State has turned into a big government magnet for illegal immigrants and now welfare recipients. It's staggering.
It is very staggering. Thank you, Laura, for having me on your show. By the way, it's Chocolate City night, and I'm feeling good. I'm on. Let me just say this about California. California is being held hostage by a liberal progressive agenda to taxate the middle class very heavily. I mean, we have gas tax. We have taxes within our bills when we go out and eat in LA City called the healthy tax. You know, Laura, there's this old saying that if California goes, then the rest of the country goes as well. They're using California as a progressive agenda template, so the rest of you guys will fall in line with what we're suffering right here.
Yeah, it's like a test tube. We're trying this out in California and get ready for the big push of all these policies. Well, when you hear what was said earlier today, Shirley, and a lot of the California congressmen repeating the trope, Donald Trump's a racist, Donald Trump hates black people. I mean, you just hear the same, it's the drumbeat, despite really good and powerful economic news in just 1 year. We had a guest on earlier. She's very nice, but she said, look, Barack Obama's the one who really brought unemployment down from 16% among African Americans to 7.8%. So he's the one who really deserves the credit. That was quite a big drop. But nevertheless, in a year, we've seen huge economic gains for African Americans under Trump. It gets no credit.
Oh, you know, he gets no credit because they don't want to give credit where credit is truly due. This administration is making a major change within history. It's a historical administration, which the Trump administration is doing for black people. Look, under Obama, we are down to 6% California African Americans. We have no blacks in California. It's devastating for blacks in California. They're using us as a progressive liberal agenda. Look at here we are. We are in Martin Luther King, the 50th anniversary. You know what the signs they have, Laura, in California? They said that AIDS is a civil rights issue, and they used the face of Dr. King on billboards in California. Civil rights has a lot of power behind it, but the abuse of the civil rights movement for this liberal progressive agenda has to stop. AIDS is not a civil rights issue, and we should not allow them to use it and hold it hostage and captive for their liberal agenda on the backs of the blacks and the pain that we have endured these last 400 years. It's just not right. They have, Laura, in California. They said that AIDS is a civil rights issue, and they used the face of Dr. King on billboards in California. They're playing with the minds of African Americans and taking our legacy as hostage. The real dreamers are the black dreamers, the young black dreamers who are part of the mass incarceration,
the mass incarceration
in our privatized prison. Yes.
Shirley, I'm going to see you in a few days in LA, and we're going to hang out together. And I can't wait to have you on. We're going to have you on in a couple days because we're going to be able to do this in person.
Girl, you know, you're my girl. I love you. I love you. You are on point.
Back at you.
And we're going to make it real because you got real chocolate on your show. Represent.
I need to hang out with you more. You always put me in a good mood, too.